And I believe that means we are on air. Welcome, everybody. This is Friday Night Hangout with Android Coliseum, number 32 of our Hangout. So I'm so glad you guys can be here. It is, June the 7th, 2013, where I am here in Thunder Bay. It is 11 o'clock at night, and that means it's the weekend. Work is over. Saturday is almost upon us. And what better way to do it than to talk Android with a bunch of friends here and just get caught up and just talk about something we're all kind of passionate about. So, again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Let's introduce our panel we have here with us. So I'm going to start on, I think it's my far left. That's coming all the way in, who hasn't been here in a while. Sylvain, welcome back, buddy. Say hello.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back out of the woods.
He's all exercised out and ready to talk Android, and he's getting caught up on everything like we are, and he's now got all his recent updates. We also have with us from the east side of Canada, from dans la belle Provence, we have Sivan.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for joining us, Sivan. My name is Ryan Moore. I'm with the writer here at Android Coliseum. I'm in Thunder Bay. I'm one of the writers here, and again, just glad to be here and to chat with everybody. We also have with us Cass Morrison.
Hi, everybody.
That's exciting. You're exciting.
I know.
Cass is just trying to hold it in. She's got some special news. We kind of already talked about it. A giveaway. We're gonna give you some details. And she ordered something and accidentally, and she just doesn't want to return it, but she wants to give away and return the love to the universe. So we'll talk about that later. And then joining us last but not least, but on the far end, we have Brian Evans. Brian, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, hello.
So, and again, we always like to have some new faces on our Coliseum. We're not experts here. Android is just a group of people who are enthusiastic about the things that they love. And I'm just noticing now Brian wrote the Ultra Pickles, and too bad Tom isn't there to see this. Tom,
yeah, that's too bad. You can watch it later.
Tom will watch it later. I tried to just bug Tom about that nonstop. For those of you who missed it a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the HTC One Nexus user experience and the compatibility of that device with some of the new camera features. And because he accidentally said pickles instead of pixels, we now call Tom the Ultra Pickle. So anyways, let's go into our agenda here. For those of you who are playing the home game, we do have an agenda on the database that talks about what we're going to be talking about. And by all means, you guys can comment on the blog, comment on YouTube, comment in our document, comments on Hangouts, wherever you want. Let us know what's going on. We're going to be watching some of those channels just to sort of see what's going on. And if you have any input, by all means, interrupt us. Send us a message. Send me a text. Send us a tweet. Send us a Facebook, something, and we'll make sure you get included. We're going to go through the topics, and about in the hour mark, we will switch over to an off-air portion and let anybody join in. And you can correct our mistakes, correct our grammar, tell us when we picked our noses, or any Ultra Pickle errors we might have. Okay, so first topic. One of the things, I don't know, Sivan kind of mentioned, and I think we all were kind of feeling it, is that this has been a pretty hectic week. We've all had, aside from a work week, and social lives, Android has had quite a lot of sort of discussion the past while. And one of the ones I had an issue with, and I just didn't have time to sort of roll them all out as soon as they came out, was a bunch of new devices that were coming out this week. All you kept hearing was, oh, Sony did this, and HTC now has that. So there's new devices. So I wrote an article just encapsulating all the new ones out there. So if you're in the agenda, there is a link to the file. And I'll just go briefly over them. There are a bunch of new devices. There's the Sony Xperia UL, a 5-inch screen that has that water and dust resistance. There's an Xperia M, sort of a smaller basic model. Samsung has the Galaxy S4 Mini. We knew about this, but this one's looking at it is going to be coming to Canada soon. The Samsung Galaxy Tab series has a new 3. The new 3. There's a 7-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10.1-inch. What else? The Galaxy S4 came out with an active model, again, a water-resistant model. HP came out with a tablet to sort of go up against the Asus ePads with a docking station that has an extra battery. There's Toshiba released 3 different tablets. Their Pro line, which is very much like the, I want to say the Nexus 10. So I know, Brian, you have a Nexus 10, right? Brian?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have the Nexus 10. I'm looking at the specs of the Toshiba Excite Pro would be very similar to what you have right now.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I noticed that Toshiba had they really upgraded their screens, the screen resolution, so it's the same as the Nexus 10. And yeah, I must say that the screen on that tablet is really, really nice. So I can imagine these new Thrives should also be quite attractive.
Yeah, and especially then when I'm looking at the Excite Right, they call it, which is going to be fun to say. The Toshiba Excite Right has a True Pen. So something like that high resolution and drawing on it must give you such precision, I would imagine.
You'd hope so.
We'd hope so. So that'd be cool to play with. Maybe Toshiba, if you're out there and you're listening, you can send us a model to play with.
$600 though.
It's $600.
Yeah.
Ouch. How much was the Nexus 10?
400.
Yes. Get a pen.
But how much was the Note 10.1?
How much the Note 10.1? You have it.
I think it was around 500.
Okay, so it's a little more.
And it's got a much lower resolution screen, so.
Interesting. And I just love the idea of the pen, which just makes me sad that I had to send that Note 8 back, and I was kind of sad to do that. But they also have a Toshiba Excite Pure, and then Asus let out a couple tablets. Their MemoPad HD7 and the HD10. I don't know if you guys seen the info on this HD7 yet. It's sort of the new Nexus 7. Like $130.
I was going to say, that's all I've heard is that it's very inexpensive.
$130. It's only 1280 by 800 screen, so less resolution than, like, let's say your Nexus 4 or Galaxy S4 or HTC One, but cheap as dirt. Like,
Yeah, that's
wow.
really, really cheap. Wow.
Sivan, you have a comment?
Yeah,
No,
I saw also.
MemoPad HD7. It's like a Nexus 7.
Yeah, I saw the one from Asus, the new one, the 7-inch, and it's $150.
If you get the 16.
Staples.
Oh, it's at Staples already. Wow.
I saw it there for $150, but it seemed to be a bit slow, and the screen is really not so nice. So, but it's good that there are options for people that really can't afford expensive devices and still need something for school or for the kids, so it's good to have options.
Yeah, for like $130, I'd buy that for my kid. Like, just I want to let
Right,
my
for games, it's good enough.
Yeah.
And from a reputable, rather than one of those Kobe or whatever aftermarket ones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I didn't get when they released, and I got the media release from Asus announcing it. They didn't announce what the speed of the processor. They just said it was an ARM Cortex A7 quad-core processor, which I want to say is about the same as the Nexus 7 had, if I remember. No, Nexus 7 I think had a Tegra.
Nexus 7 was a Tegra 3 1.4 or maybe a 1.2 or something like that.
Yeah, this one's an ARM Cortex A7, but it's probably was about similar. But yeah, like I'm not expecting the world out of a device that's only $130.
Yeah, if it's not a Tegra device, I must say my wife has a Nexus 7, and NVIDIA did something right with that Tegra system, the Tegra 3 and the Tegra 4. It just runs so smoothly. It's always so nice to use my wife's tablet whenever I do use it.
Oh. Now the MemoPad HD10, the 10-inch version of the same, actually has an Intel processor. So that'd be interesting to see the Intel processor and what they bring to the table versus what we've seen already, like the Snapdragon, the NVIDIA's, the ARMs, etc. So they do differently. And they also Asus released the new Transformer Pad Infinity. So just a monster 1.9 quad-core processor, like huge. So that'd be kind of interesting to see. Again, and then with a super huge resolution of 2560 by 1600. So a lot of devices that are out there. And again, one of the things I keep saying is that Android is nothing but about choice and finding the device that's right for you. It can be overwhelming, but again, it's nice to be able to shop and shop around. You know, do I want the iPad or the iPad Mini? You know, I can choose.
The Nexus 7, the new one, is it just a rumor still?
You just stop about it. There's no new Nexus, not yet.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. If it's a rumor still.
Sorry, Savannah. You've been out in the field. You don't know. You're getting caught up. But yeah, no, nothing has been announced as far as we know yet. So, anyways, but yeah, there's a ton of devices still yet to be announced that we keep hearing about. Obviously, a next Nexus. There's going to be the most Motorola X phone. There's going to be a ton of new stuff. And again, more choices is better, right? Allows us to have that option of find a device that matches your needs. Okay, so on to other topics. We have a poll. Again, every week I do a poll. I always like to find out what your guys' thoughts are. And this past week we're talking about, again, choice and your devices. And one of the new things that we're being offered as a choice for our devices is whether we want the Galaxy S4 from TouchWiz, with Samsung stuff installed, the HTC One with Sense all installed, or coming near the end of this month, at least to the States, hopefully Canada, who knows, you can get a Nexus user experience device. So one that has the Google stock feel, the Google updates from Google. But again, we talked about this last week about the drawbacks and the pluses to that. But I wanted to get your guys' feeling on it. And just let's do a quick poll. Take on a Nexus user experience. Sylvain, have you done much research on this one? Have you seen what the talk and chatter is?
I didn't search anything on it. I know nothing. Yep.
I know.
I'm outdated.
That's okay. Savant, your thoughts on our Nexus user experience?
I'm also out of the loop this week. I had a crazy week. I saw something, but I didn't look into it.
Okay. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna bet that's the 99.9% of the Android users out there right now. They have their device and they're happy. Yeah. Now, Cass, I know your thoughts on the Nexus user experience, and you said this time and again, is that you buy your devices for Samsung's TouchWiz to get that experience.
Well, I buy them for what they can do for me now. Mm-hmm. I don't buy them so I can complain about what they do and don't do. So I'm happy with what I have. Yeah. And I know by the time I get unhappy, I'll be able to root and fix that.
Yeah. So, but what is your take on the Nexus user experience in general? I mean, I know you wouldn't buy it, you think, or at least right now at this point in time in juncture. But your thoughts in general of the fact that it's available.
Oh, I think it's great. Developers will have a chance to get some drivers going and create apps for things they might not have access to.
Cool.
And it will help the developer, like the chefs, too.
Yeah. So, and then Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's nothing but good, I think. It's just more devices with the more simplified user experience. The only problem maybe is that these Google Edition or Nexus Edition or Google Experience phones won't be offered with a subsidy through the carriers. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, I don't know. But if they're not, then it's kind of a barrier to purchase. But it's just good to have them out there because the Google Experience is a very slimmed down, very clean kind of a UI.
No, and it's really kind of cool, and it's again really cool that it's an option. Sivan, you had a comment?
No, just to say that I think that the Nexus experience is I agree with Cass that it's mainly important for developers and maybe advanced users that don't need all the extras. But the phone companies really are getting better with their own operating, their add-ons to Android. So I was playing with the Galaxy S4, for example, and the camera has a lot of features that many users do appreciate and do not want to lose. So I can see why people would not want to lose all these options.
Sure. Getting back to the carrier subsidy program, like Brian was mentioning, yeah, it's not going to be subsidized because at the time it's only available through the Play Store, so you're buying it outright. But I'm kind of thinking the days of subsidies are going to be very much over, I mean, especially with the new CRTC regulations where they really are upfront now. Going to be really upfront with how much your phone is going to be subsidized. You're going to know that your phone is, $700-800 phone before you buy it.
You're going to know you're paying for it.
You're going to know you're paying for it, and so now people are going to start seeing that and start realizing the value purchase of their phone, and now they can see, well, if I can buy it elsewhere and get whatever else, who knows? It takes a lot of change in the mindset of people. People are so used to getting a free phone or a very cheap phone, and I think personally I think that's wrong. I think you should be able to see the value in it. Anyways, let's go to the results here. People that were really excited about a Nexus user experience is 64%. 20% of people are saying not really that excited, just doesn't affect me. Nobody said it's a bad move. And a bunch of other people are saying, I have signage and mod, or I'll just, we'll see, or I'm curious. But, again, for the most part, people are looking at it's exciting, or it just doesn't affect me. So, it's not a negative thing. What we ask, would you buy a Nexus user experience? 43% said yes, 14% said no, and 43% said maybe. So, again, people between yes and maybe, are 86%. Do you think that this should be an option for all future phones? Quick thought. Do you guys think that, should we get this option for all phones, do you think?
I think so.
Sure.
It's about
And
choice,
I can
right?
tell you also that I probably won't even flash a custom ROM if I add the Nexus option on any phone. I think I would just go with that.
Yeah, and I think I would stay Nexus if I was on a Nexus user experience, right? I would stay stock. You usually go to CyanogenMon or AOKP if you don't like the current ROM you're on. Like if you're not a Sense fan, you want to get rid of Sense, you might go to CyanogenMon or some sort of AOSP.
On the Nexus 4, I just left it stock, and I was very happy because Android also came a long way, and it's...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are some features. I look at my wife's Galaxy Nexus with CyanogenMod on it that I kind of wish I had, like the pop-over text feature. But you know what? I'm very happy. Android has matured. So the question was, do you think that this should be an option for all future phones? 61% of you said yes. 7% of you said no. A quarter of you said yes, but only just for flagship phones. So not every device out there, but just the flagship devices. I don't want to see a Galaxy Ace 2X Nexus user experience, like the cheap end line. That's fine.
Yeah, I think I voted yes, but as we're sitting here talking, I'm going to change it to the yes only for flagships because there's a lot of phones out there.
Well, and it's one of the other things I had to do this week is I went through the start of every month. I go through my databases again and make sure they're all cleaned up. And one of them is the phones that we could buy in Canada. So I go through every carrier and I look at all the price of the Android phones. And you look at, there is a ton of different options for phones. If you go, like if I walked into the T-Bay store, I would see 20 to 30 different phones, including BlackBerry and Android and whatever, and iPhone. So it's a lot of options out there. So maybe, it only should be on the elite phones. The phones that would really show off.
That relates to what you were saying about the prices of phones, because so many people are used to getting free phones. They still want to get that. So the carriers have to offer cheap Android phones for these people, because if not, they would just stay with a flip phone, and then they can't charge them for data. So they make money this way.
Can you even still buy just a flip phone these days?
I think there's one or two in each.
Yes, you can. Because when I was getting my S4, there was a guy getting his flip phone replaced with another flip phone. And I was going, wow. I wish I had that kind of staying power with the Simple.
A flip phone. How far have we come? Okay, Cassie had a comment?
Yeah, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so moving along here, if you remember, just pop it in. We'll pop it in there.
Sure.
Speaking of like Nexus and user experiences, one of the things we heard about at Google I/O was this new feature for the Play Store to allow beta versions of their phones out there. So that they could have the regular stable version, but they could also have an opt-in if you want to try the beta version. So right now you had to side load it if you were part of their special forum group, and it may monkey with what you got updates for. So now they have a special program, and I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of posts on Google Plus lately inviting me to different beta, programs. Falcon Pro beta, Nova Launcher beta, because part of the stipulation of allowing the beta program in the Play Store is you have to have the a Google Plus community for that app, for the discussion and stuff like that. So it doesn't, so that your discussion of the app doesn't go into the Play Store and affect the standard version. That's my understanding. So there's a lot of new options. Anybody else try any of them yet, or give it a shot?
I tried, but mine didn't work. They were posting a link to the Play Store, and it just sends you to the normal app. So I'm not too sure how it works yet.
Maybe where Canadians are left out in the cold. Maybe.
It says I'm in, but it doesn't work.
You know how Google is with this, and this is the other thing we're going to talk about today was the way that Google's updating. And again, they're doing these staggered rollout updates. The previous week we talked about the fact that Google Plus updated, and what was the other things that I was ranting about something last week. I can't remember. Anyways, Google Play Store and Google Music that they said were updating, and they weren't. This week it was Gmail. They said Gmail was updating, and it took my tablet 2 days to get the update before, and I sideloaded my own copy, but it just annoyed me that you go to the Play Store and it says you can't install because it's already installed. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not installed. But I don't know. I rant and I get mad about things. But one thing I did see that was interesting is that they are now allowing very much the Nexus apps are now coming out to the Play Store. What we saw this week was we saw the what app was it? I'm blanking out here. The keyboard.
The keyboard, yep.
Keyboard.
Right. So everybody here probably already had the Google keyboard already, right?
I had the AOKP one.
Yeah, the AOKP. So who tried the Google?
I did not have it.
That would be weird, yeah. But again, I guess a TouchWiz is that little deep, right?
I've had a Samsung device, and Samsung has their own keyboard and the swipe keyboard that they tend to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys try out the Google keyboard?
Yep.
I did try it out. I wasn't impressed. I'm used to just long press on a letter and have a ton of other signs I can use. And
SwiftKey.
I didn't find that, so it's been uninstalled already.
Ditto.
I also don't use it. I have my own.
Yeah, I use SwiftKey, and I just cannot get off of SwiftKey Flow. It's just works so well for me. But what's nice is that it's available out there, and it's one of the things I kind of found was interesting. I mean, when we talked about when Google Calendar came out for download, right? That when you look at all the apps that Google has now that you can download for your phone, regardless of what ROM you're on, you can still get a Nexus experience. And I think this is kind of what's been indicative of what happened at Google I/O. They didn't really talk a lot about Android, but they talked a lot about the services. So technically, to extrapolate from that, we could say that you don't really need to have a Nexus device to get a Nexus experience, right? You can still have a Galaxy S4 that is a TouchWiz version, but with the Nexus version of the calendar app, the Nexus version of the keyboard app. You can get a very close to Nexus experience without having to be that specific hardware. And I think that's a cool option. I don't know what you guys think about that sort of, what that might mean as a sort of a shift in the way Android is going, or anybody have any thoughts on that?
But if you download it from the Play Store and you can't get rid of your bloatware and you have everything double, that's also a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, That's true. I mean, but like for example, if I use the Samsung, I don't know how you like yours, Brian, but I just can't get used to S Planner. Like using a Samsung version, I can't get used to using S Planner. I have to.
Yeah, I couldn't either. So about a year and a half ago, I rooted my Galaxy S phone and put CM CyanogenMod or CM 9.1 or whatever it is on it. Because I didn't like the TouchWiz, and they weren't going to update it past Gingerbread. So that was mainly that was the main thing. Was that Samsung just after about a year and a half abandons their phones. They don't do any more updates. So
I think they've gotten a lot better at that, but
I think they have an 18-month turnaround. Is what I think they sort of eventually promised was 18 months at one time. So, but yeah, Cass, I know you can't. You're a TouchWiz fan. You like the features and they do add a lot of options. But for me, I couldn't get used to the S Planner. So I needed to have.
I don't use it.
No?
No.
Do you use the Google Stock calendar or?
Well, I have agenda widget, and it links to the stock calendar.
Okay.
So, and it doesn't make any sometimes I don't mind looking at the S Planner, but it's not my regular calendar. No.
Yeah. My dad is starting to get used to it because he has a Note 2, right? So he starts writing on, because I have that option, you can write on the Note 2. You can write your plan, you can do little circles and that stuff, and you can hide your annotations and bring them back as you need. So he's starting to get used to it. So he might like it, but for me, I'm just so used to having the stock experience that I would have to find ways to push it aside and make the default the Google version. So. But anyways, I think it's an interesting shift that Google's doing for these Android devices, is providing piece by piece stock Android out as additional pieces to whatever ROM you're already currently using. And I think it's just a smart way to go. Anyways, that's my opinion. All right, let's move along here. Some reviews this past week. We had Sivan write a couple articles. So Sivan, who's been emoji friendly for the past while, wrote how to flash the emoji keyboard to your phone. So if you have to, and you must have it rooted already to do that, right?
Right.
Okay. So tell me, as somebody who's not an emoji user, why would I want to do emoji? And why would I want to?
I'll tell you why I wanted to have him. I got used to it when I had the Nexus 4, and one day I just realized it's there, and I started playing with it. And just for fun, I was using it on Google+. I would put it in comments, I would put it on posts, and it works. So that's kind of cool. So when I went back to the Galaxy Nexus, I'm like, oh, I do miss it. So I was looking for the app, and I found the link for the zip file, and I flashed it, and it's there just like it was on the Nexus 4, same thing. And it's just there, so it doesn't bother me that it's there. It's just an option, just in case I want to use it, and it's fun. Why not?
Now, yeah, and emoji is supported in Google Plus on the phone only, is it supported
on
in
mobile only?
Yeah.
So you can see it only on mobile. You can't see it on. I'm actually not sure since they updated. I didn't try. I will have to check, but you can see it on mobile mainly.
Yeah.
And for example, on apps that do have emoji, it will just show as the same as using it through the app. For example, on WhatsApp, they have emoji built in, so when you use the emoji keyboard, it will look exactly as if you used it from within the app. So it's the same kind of keyboard.
So if people have been using emoji, it's just an option now. If you're used to it.
Just to have it in emails, in Gmail, in Google Plus. Just something
wherever
extra.
it's supported.
Not necessary, but just for fun.
There you go. Cass, you had a question?
So, yeah, I was watching All About Android, and they were saying the Google keyboard that just came out, you can get emoji to work with it. Like you just add it as a language keyboard, And then
I
when
didn't
you
look
type
into it.
snowflake, it supposedly shows the snowflake at the same time as one of the options instead of the word, the emoji. But it didn't work for me. So if you guys didn't know that, then maybe you can't tell me if it worked for you instead.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look. I don't see the option myself, but
You have to go
that's
under
not
the
to say.
settings. You have to go into the settings and you install it as another language, like as another dictionary, I think.
But you have to write the actual words. You have to remember.
Yeah, and that's what they had said. You had to remember the words. Whereas, like with Hangouts, you have all those icons you can just add in.
Right. So with the emoji keyboard, you don't need to remember. You just click
You
on it,
just
just like you
click
do
on
in
the thing.
Hangout. The
Just
same
a
as the
little-
Hangouts app.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. So she wrote an article on how to flash that to your device if you wanted to try it out. And something else that she wrote this past week, again, a little tip, and it's one of those things that you may not know how to do, and like Sivan was saying, she had a friend who went to the extreme methods but didn't realize there was a simpler method. How to remove Picasa web albums. And what this means is if you're like me, you take a lot of photos, you post a lot to Google+, you do a lot of instant uploading. I used to be very active in my Picasa web albums and sorting them. If you guys don't realize this about me already, I'm very OCD, I'm very type A. Things have to be in folders and organized by year and trip and whatever it is. So I would load up my phone the first time, whenever I get a new one, it immediately starts to download all those Picasa web albums into my gallery. And I have several hundreds, if not thousands, of folders. So when I go into the gallery, you see camera, download, screenshots, Picasa, and it's just thousands, and it does eat up a large amount of your space. If you are, your space limit on your phone, the thumbnails from using that is pretty huge. So, Sivan, you wrote an article today about how to do it. Do you want to just give us a quick, glance of what you do to get rid of them?
Already when I got my tablet, that's when I encountered that problem for the first time, because suddenly all my Google Plus posts showed there. Each was on a different album. So imagine every image I ever posted on Google Plus showed as its
own folder. Yeah.
Album. Yeah, exactly. So so I was, and so many people hate it. It's what's amazing is people are so emotional about this issue. Whenever I give them the solution, they're like so happy and they're like, thank you. And even if you look at my post from today, everybody's like, oh my God, thank you, because people are so passionate about it. So with some friends, we were trying to figure it out, and we figured it out a few months ago and fixed it. This week, a friend told me that he wiped his old phone. And I said, why did you wipe your phone? He said, well, because of those albums in the gallery, it was driving him crazy. So I said, you know what, I should write about it, because it's just 2 simple steps. All you have to do is turn off the Google Photos sync and then wipe the data in the gallery, and it will not delete your regular photos. It will only delete the Picasa album, so you're not losing anything. It's just it clears it. It keeps only what you have in the camera, the screenshots, whatever is on your device. So everything else is clear, then everything looks better. And for me, the problem is the opposite than yours, Ryan, because I'm so cluttered. So my photos are all over the place. So when it shows in the gallery, it just doesn't make sense. So
yeah, no, because
profile,
especially on
posted
posts,
there.
Whenever you post on Google Plus, because it had a folder posts, and then it would be like June 7th, June 6th, June 5th. Every time you post,
right,
it'd be its own album, right? And then you're like,
exactly. It's very annoying, and most people hate it. So I don't know why it's there to begin with, or why they don't give more options to hide it. And make it easier for people, because it's very unintuitive. There is an option when you go to options inside the gallery. It takes you to settings and where you can turn off the sync, but it's not intuitive. People don't think that that's what they have to do to fix it.
Well, and especially to remove the ones that are, once you even turn off the syncing, to remove the ones that are already there. Like, that's not an intuitive thing. Like,
yeah, you have to clear data.
Yeah, those who don't tweak with their phone may not know that option. Cass, you had a comment?
Yeah, I was just looking at the album or the gallery setting on the S4, and it is, all you do is hit your menu when you're in the S4 in the gallery, and it actually says content to display. So same thing you're saying, Siobhan, except you don't have to turn off your syncing. You just
I think
it
we
just
have
asks
something
which one.
similar, but it
And
doesn't.
it says content in device, and then it only shows the content in device. Because
So that's good.
I was in that same position where I go, what the? I really don't want to see all this stuff.
Especially because, like, with the S4 or any of the Galaxy ones, they always had like your Dropbox folder and your Facebook
Right.
folders.
Everything.
Yeah.
Very annoying. So that was something that I found for the S4. So
that's great. Just something to say. It's very unpredictable. You can do that, follow those 2 steps, and one day it will show up again. Or today, for example, I was playing with it for the article, and suddenly photos from another account showed, or sync got turned off for something else. It's a bit predictable. So if it happens again, just follow the 2 steps again, and it will be fine again.
Clear data, simple. And it's one of those things, showing people how to clear cache or clear data. They don't know how to do that on their device, and it's a great tip to learn to do. Okay, so that's this week's tip there. Updates this past week. Tom was going to talk about the update to the ROM he's currently running on his HTC One, which is the Android Revolution HD. But he's sick right now, so we're gonna hopefully have him a healthy soon. But also he'll probably write an article on the update for that feature. Devices that got updates recently. Well, this isn't for us, but the HTC One did get 4.2.2 internationally, so we're hoping North America, Canada will get it, and this word is going to be just for Mark, is imminent. So we hope this update's imminent.
that's within the next 8 years, if it's an asteroid.
No, bit of an inside joke we have to bug Mark. Okay, apps updated in the past while, a ton of them. Copy, one of my favorite cloud storage apps, Copy updated. Solid Explorer, my favorite File Explorer app, updated. It's got a fancier new UI. And this is the coolest feature, sharing files by NFC. Absolutely. So not just my pictures and web thing. I can actually say, here's the PDF. Whoop, and send it over that way. Google Keyboard updated, we talked about. Google Hangouts updated. Gmail, we know it was a huge update this week in the new style. Chrome Beta has updated just some bug fixes. YouTube has some newer UI interactions and seeing certain things. Internet Movie Database updated itself, and I can't remember what they updated for recently. Let me just pull it up here. You can see movies that are playing in theaters near you, which is kind of cool. And Pinterest updated.
I tried that, Ryan. I tried that, and I couldn't see anything about theaters near me.
Let's take a look. Maybe it's just the U.S. That would really suck. But
where in Google now?
No, IMDb.
In IMDb. Coming soon. U.S. box office release. Showtimes. If I click Showtime, oops, no, not Movie Meter. Showtimes. For Friday, the current location, no showtimes found. Which
because for me it showed in Google Now.
Yeah, Google Now. If it knows you've gone to a movie on a Friday night, on Friday nights it starts showing movie theater times. Yeah, it's showing from in Google Now for me now from there.
It showed it for me for a theater I will never go to. So I don't know how to choose which theater to show.
Maybe that new feature from Internet Movie Database is only for America or major movie theaters. Yeah. Pinterest also updated. It has itself now an option to search your own pins, if I remember correctly. So those are the apps that have updated. If there's anything else out there that updated, by all means let us know. We can make sure you know. I love new features and new devices. That's really cool. And we can move on to our App Coliseum portion. But before we do that, Cass has an announcement. Some good karma to pay forward.
Yes. So I have a pouch for a Note 2. It's a microfiber pouch with a bead at the top to keep it closed. I use that sort of pouch I've used that for a long time. I had it for my Nexus, and I use the same pouch for my S4. It's a really nice way of carrying your phone around if you like to carry it naked, because it just slides into your pocket. When you want to answer your phone, you just slide out of the pouch. So, someone who suggests a topic for the next App Coliseum, maybe a theme, post, and you'll be entered. I like how that turns me green. You'll be entered to get the pouch. It is for a Note 2, but it will fit, smaller devices, of course.
It'll bounce around a little bit, and the Note 2 is kind of large. Cool. So thanks, Cass, for donating this prize. So basically, guys, if you have a Note 2, or you know somebody who wants a case for their Note 2, somebody else might need it, by all means, just send us a tweet or a Google Plus post or Facebook. Use the hashtag AppColiseum. So whether it's an App Coliseum this is my suggestion for an App Coliseum, or I think next week you guys should do an App Coliseum on Twitter accounts, or App Coliseum on security programs, or an App Coliseum on whatever. Use the hashtag, and you'll be entered into our draw. And next week, want to do it next week, or when do you want to do it, Cass? When do you want to pick a winner?
Next week.
Yeah. So next week we'll announce the winner of that, and we'll have Cass will send it on to the winner. So thanks, Cass, for that. And speaking of App Coliseum, let's do it. All right. So App Coliseum. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, it's something we invented. I don't want to say we invented. I don't know if we have the patent on it or the trademark. We're not We're not going to get in that nasty area. But App Coliseum, it's our opportunity to share with you guys what some of the apps that we think are worth sharing. I keep saying time and again, the apps, the Google Play Store is so huge. It's hard to know what apps are the best ones. You can take the recommended ones, and you can take the stock ones, but there's sometimes apps out there that are just so much better that you don't even know about. I can't tell you how many of the apps that I've downloaded from the suggestions just in this App Coliseum and paid money out towards it. We should get commission on the apps that we suggest. That'd be really cool. I'm only kidding. Yeah, developers keep every dime to themselves. That's fine. We know how hard you guys work. So App Coliseum, the idea here is we will tell you with the app that we suggest, and we tell you why we suggest it. Maybe we might show a picture of it. Maybe we might run on AirDroid or something. And the idea is what I want you guys to do later on is that we will post that, and you guys can +1 that post or retweet it, like it, whatever it is. And being the idea of the Coliseum, we want to find out who the winner is, right? And so we take a look at who had the most +1s, and they are the winner. For those of you who are unaware, the past few weeks Tom has won this one. I think he was going to go up for his 3-peat, and he's not here, so he definitely can't win this next week, so that's kind of cool. But last week we took a look at, we did just the three of us. Cass, who did Tetris Blitz. Myself, I did Super Stickman Golf. And Tom did MX Player. And the winner was me. Yay.
And that is a fun game.
It is a fun game. It actually is a great game. I think I beat Tom by just, 2 votes. So it was a pretty tough call last week. Anyways. So again, you can always take a look, go back in history and see what are the apps that we've recommended and played around with. But let's go to this week, and I'm going to start it off with our guest, Brian. What are you sharing with us this week?
I'm sharing an app that I found or was introduced to through the All About Android podcast on the Twit network. It's called Arcus. It's a weather app, and yes, I know. Everybody's already got their weather apps. Google Now has an excellent little weather feature, but this one is I found it really compelling because it has some really accurate data, and it's really accurate to your location. Maybe I'll try and do a screen share here. Just give me a moment. And this one has replaced the weather app that I usually use, which was the Weather Network weather app. This one, it's very clean. Are you already seeing the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, good. It's very clean. You can either have the dark theme or the light theme, and it gives you a nice summary of the weather for the next hour, what the weather's going to be for the next 24 hours, and then sort of a text description of the weather for the next week. And you can sort of slide through the various graphs that they have. So if you're out and about, or as we say up here in Canada, and the weather's looking a little cloudy, you can use this app and to get a really good, accurate idea of when it's going to rain. Up to about a 5 or 10 minute window even, because it's based on your specific location, not like your general city or regional location. It goes right down to your GPS location, and uses a website called forecast.io to get the radar data right up to the minute. And I must say, I think I kind of did a little test. We've been having some pretty rainy weather in this area where I live in the GTA, and so I was outside and I checked my phone to see if it was going to rain, and it said it was expecting it to rain in the next light rain in the next 15 minutes. So I made a note of the time, and sure enough, about 15 minutes later, it could have been 10, it could have been 20, but pretty good. It did in fact start to rain, and I've sort of kept an eye on that, and I must say it's been very accurate, and that's kind of what you want when you're stuck outside and you need to find some shelter.
Cool.
So that would be that's my app for this week.
Now there also is the Pro version. You buy the key. What does the Pro version give you over the regular version?
That I don't know. I just took the free version, and I must say the free version has all of the features that I needed, anyways. I can just do a quick look here to see what the Pro key does. Well, of course, it takes away ads and gives you a widget. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really liked it, and I remember hearing this on Twit, was in talking about the idea of short-range forecasts to say, oh, okay, I'm going to be, for example, myself, I'm going to bike. Am I going to bike home in just rain, or is it going to stop in the next half hour? Can I wait before I bike home? Or is it going to rain? I've done this a couple times at work, and I've sat at work and I've gone, okay, I hear it's going to rain. Is it going to rain before I leave for home, or should I just leave now? And leave a bit work early and not get soaked. So cool feature, Arcus. Okay, so we posted on the blog or on the Google Plus page, posted on Twitter, Facebook. So if you guys like it or you want to try it out, give them a +1. Maybe Brian will be this week's winner. All right, so next then, we go on to Cass. Cass,
so my app is Flixster. I've used Flixster for a long time, and the test for me is that it actually does find the theater closest to me. Because I live in a small town, we don't have Cineplex or Coliseum theaters or Silver City. We have an independent theater. So that is what it shows. They just did an update, so they are using the theming that Google wants them to use. So you can see they have that slide out there. You can look for box office. That is, I guess I should click on my screen. So that shows all the new now playing and then upcoming. And then if you go back, for me, there's my closest theater. And when I select it, it will show everything playing, show times, and I can select different days. So if I want to see what's playing on Tuesday, I just check, and it does give show times and everything. The other feature that just started, oh, and then they have DVD releases as well. So that's slowly coming up. I'm not going to worry about DVD releases because I don't care. Things that I really like about this app is it goes into the future and shows when movies are going to be released, and then you can make a note about whether or not you want to see them. So as they come out, then as it shows up, it has a little plus on your screen, so you can go, oh yeah, I want to see that. So these are the movies that I want to see. I'm kind of second thinking Epic and After Earth, but you know, what can you do? And the final feature that they just started with is it is also an ultraviolet player. So it does give you the free movie The Perfect Storm, in case you're a George Clooney and Marky Mark. Anyways, Mark Wahlberg. We also have a couple of movies that we've purchased, Jurassic Park and The Hobbit, and it had ultraviolet copies. So all I had to do was sign into Flickster and put the code in, and now I can watch it on any device that I'm signed into with Flickster, and I can watch those movies. So that is my app. I've used it for a long time. It's a lot of fun. It does do movie reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. So it's kind of nice, and then you can post your own reviews as well. And overall, it's always worked for me, so I'm pretty happy with it.
The movies you bought, are they affordable compared to the Play Store?
The movies, these are movies that we bought the DVD Blu-ray for, and it comes with a digital copy. So this is how you get your digital copy.
Oh, I see.
I think
I gotta say, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of ultraviolet. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it's supposedly been around for a couple of years, and it's supposed to be the universal Android streaming, replacing Windows Media. Remember before you could just go with Windows Media or something like that? Now you're supposed to go with ultraviolet. So
I'm behind the times apparently when it comes to movies. I guess I just use Netflix.
It annoyed me when I came to Android because there wasn't something for getting my digital editions off DVDs, and I'm not the DVD purchaser, and we go to a lot of movies, so it's a good app to have, and it also is connected to GetGlue, so you get your stickers and you feed to it does the social thing as well, so it's a pretty good app.
Cool. Okay, I'm not much of. I gotta admit, I haven't gone to the movie theater much, and I haven't bought movies in the longest time. I haven't bought a Blu-ray player yet. I'm still waiting. I don't know.
You have a PS3.
One of these days I should get. I need to get a new TV before I get a Blu-ray player. Anyways, so hers is Flickster. I post that again. If you like Flickster, give that a +1, retweet, share, like, plus whatever you want to do to it, to show your support for Flickster. I didn't realize this when I was picking my app and you picked Flickster, that my app is, I guess, very competitive against yours. Mine is IMDb. I guess similar to similar, but not thing. Anyways, let's see if I can pull this up on my thing here and give you guys a show of what I'm doing. So those of you who have not heard of Internet Movie Database, give your head a shake. I love to tease my wife as the I call her PCM, Pop Culture Mandy. She knows anybody and everybody in every movie and knows that that's the person from that movie who's from this movie who also played this person, and it's kind of funny and hilarious. So like just the other day we're watching in Netflix, and I just pulled up in Netflix. We started watching Fawlty Towers. So I was looking through Fawlty Towers. I don't know if they would just show it, but I can easily get lost in just all the trivia that these different shows would have. So Fawlty Towers, 1975, John Cleese. So we like to look at, who is the person that we saw in there in that episode? What are they doing now? and it's great to say, okay, John Cleese, what movies was he in? But I like to look up because we watched one episode and there was a guy that he looked really familiar, and I'm like, that guy looks dead familiar. And I have no idea why, and I don't know if he's going to show on here. But but you can go for a TV show, is go view episodes by season. Let's go season 1. It was the Builders episode. I can look at all cast. I don't know if I'm moving too fast for this here for you guys to see this. All cast. No, there's the guy I was looking at. The guy whose name is O'Reilly. David Kelly. Let's see what movies he's been in. Oh, he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's right. Oh, he was in Waking Ned Divine. Great. You know, it's one of those things. I just love these kind of trivia features about an app. And for me, that's what IMDb is great for. I can just go, okay, who is that person? What episode were they in? I have a great great memory for faces, but I can't do it. My wife is great in terms of matching them to, oh, that's the person from this movie who did this show. And she loves just taunting me, so I have to have this app out all the time so I can keep up with how her brain thinks on it. So it's a great little app, Internet Movie Database. I just posted it. If you guys like it, +1 it, retweet it, like it, share it, whatever it is. And maybe I can win 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Or you can do Flickster, whichever. Okay, that's my app, is IMDb, Internet Movie Database. Let's move to Siobhan. Your turn.
Okay, so I chose a very simple app, but it's a very good app to keep children busy. If you have to wait in the doctor's office, or you just want to keep them busy for a bit, but you want it to be more educational. So my son is really into word search. So we were looking in the Play Store and we tried a few of them. So I'll share with you the one that we like the most. The name is simple. It's word search. What I like about it is, first of all, the clean look. It looks appealing. It's a simple app, but it doesn't look like, the design is well done. When you find a word, it highlights it in different colors, so it's easy to see, easy to find the words, and it crosses off the words you found already. So my son loves it. He just goes through the words, and he'll come back to the same game a few days later, and he keeps working on the same board, and it keeps him busy and happy, and it's also educational.
Question for someone: does it generate a new puzzle every time you would go to that one, or?
When you're done with the puzzle, you can start a new one, but it will remember the one you're working on.
Okay.
You can keep going into it and continue on the same one.
So I'm just thinking, because like I know my kid, they're doing in their class, you know, find this word in whatever the page and stuff like that. So if it was in the same spot every time, so if we redid it a couple weeks later, would it be the words in different places, or are they in the same spot?
No, when he's done with the board, it's a completely new board with new words.
That's good. Cool.
And the words are not too complicated. They're good for his level, and we work on it together. So if it's a long word or a word he doesn't know, I'll explain. But we tried another app that had words that are just crazy, you know, that a kid would never know. But this one, it's perfect for his level. He's 7 years old, so it's perfect for him.
Very cool.
I had used that app before, and they seem to be having some problems sizing it for the different screens. Have they resolved that, or are you just using it on the phone?
I'll be honest, I didn't try it on the tablet, but it does say in the Play Store that they have a special tablet version.
Okay.
It says here, special tablet support. So I will have to try it on the tablet. We use it mainly on the phone because my tablet is a 10-inch, so we don't take it with when we were out of the house, so we mainly play it, you know, on the go. So I didn't try, but I would try, and I would try and report on the post, and I would let you know how it is on the tablet.
Thanks.
Cool. Okay, so that's word search. Again, we shared that out there, so if you like Word search, I'm a big, huge word puzzle fan. Love little puzzle games all the time. Sudoku, word search, crosswords. So I will be giving that a check, as well as if I can do that with my son, who, again, some idea of finding word recognition, his letter recognition is awesome. Cool. Okay, so if you want to support that one, give it a +1, like, retweet, share, whatever it is, show their support. Okay, last but definitely not least, the man who's on some work leave right now and relaxing at home. What have you got for us, Sylvain?
All right, so I got, it's called Zookeeper DX. Very cool game. I bought it last year, I think. I've been playing it for a while. I think it's only 99 cents. There's no free version, as far as I can remember. And so I'll just start it. So it's really easy, but for some reason I can't get over level 8. So the idea is just to align 3 animals. So they're all animals. Some are hard to tell what they are. It's I think it's just an old game they just released. Well, they released last year on Android. So you just align. It's really easy. You align the animals together.
It's, just like Bejeweled.
Yeah.
Except with zoos.
So anyway, you see the little line at the bottom. That's the time going down, and every time you go to a new level, the time goes down faster. So yeah, that's probably why I can get over level 8. And you have, let's say, if you can't, oops, hold on. If you can't find an animal to move, you have 2 chances. So it just flashes all the animals that needs to, that it's possible to move. And that's how it can help you. So yeah, really easy game. I'm not a big gamer, but I like games that go really fast. You know, a few minutes on it and I'm done. So that's my app.
Okay, so let's post this here. So that'll be Sylvain's app called CX. Now, that's 99 cents. Is there a free version? Like, this 99 cents, right? Is there a difference between the 99 cents? Is there a free version? There's a difference, just ads, or?
I don't think there's a free version. So I don't remember. It's been a year, so.
Okay, so we've just posted it there on our Google+. So the idea, guys, is if you like and support that one, again, nice, fun little short games that just keep you occupied while you're sitting in the dentist's chair or wherever it might be, or if you just, got off of a long stint at work, Zookeeper DX. Give it a +1, a share, a retweet, a like, or whatever it is, and we'll have the results and tell you guys who won for next week. And that brings us to the end of the show. Like, what is this, 12:05? We just over the hour mark. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate those who do tune in and listen and pay attention and ask questions throughout the week. It really is nice to sort of connect with our community. Thank you to everybody who's part of our panel this week. Savant for joining in, and Brian, thank you for joining in.
Thanks,
again,
Ryan.
we're always open for anybody who wants to join in at any time. We're welcome to do that. And we'll have our off-air portion shortly, so we'll post the links that you guys can join in and correct our mistakes and let us know how we did and how bad we sucked, and or what are your plans for the weekend. Okay, so anyways, well, thank you for tuning in. This was the Android Coliseum Friday Night Hangout number 32. Yeah, and we'll turn it off. So let's go backwards here. Let's do it, Brian. You can say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me. Take care.
No problem. Cass?
See you guys later. Don't forget to give us some suggestions. This is a very nice pouch in purple.
Free pouch.
Color.
Purple. It's a mixture of my son's 2 favorite colors, red and blue. Sivan?
Good night, everybody. And if anyone needs help with the articles I wrote, the emoji keyboard, or the gallery, send me a message on Google+, and I would be very happy to help.
That's what the Android community is all about, right there. Sylvain?
Well, thanks for watching. I'm going back to Netflix.
He just wants to relax and chill. Okay, everybody. And my name is Ryan here from Android Coliseum. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be posting the off-air portion to join in, and let's kick off this weekend right. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
See ya.
Thanks, Ryan.